Hi, today I have Mr. Balaji Loganathan with me, who is a founder and CEO of Spritel Software and SeeWise. I have known him for several years now, and I call him a good friend. And I respect his understanding of the industry as well as technology. So he's a great guy to walk us through his learnings and thoughts about how technology really make business impact and how should companies look at creating value in their business using technology. So welcome Balaji.
Thank you, Abhishek. It's a privilege to have you here, and it's a privilege for us to be part of this podcast where I believe I can share some valuable learnings that we have been learning every day. And most importantly, I am personally learning a lot from you. Since the day I met you via Stanford Seed program, I still remember the table we sat, and then the bits and pieces of advices you gave. It still I can remember the advice, like how to improve the customer experience, how to deal with a specific focused area, and so on. So it's more like I'm going to share what I learned from you. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah. And no, I'm sure there is a lot of learning at SeeWise, which is a very distinct, beautiful spin-off that you guys did out of Spritel. So when we came to know each other first, it was Spritel. And I remember how you were in a dilemma to spin off SeeWise as a product business.
Yeah.
And then you did it, and you did it so successfully that it reached different parts of the country. And today, several companies are using it and benefiting from it. And I would like to go deeper into that part and understand that how companies should look at, bringing automation using AI and IoT. I think that is where you guys are really doing breakthrough innovation. And we would like to understand that how should company think about those innovations?
Sure.
Right? So starting from SeeWise, so tell me, how did this idea of SeeWise came into being?
Sure. It's a most important thing. We should have a real push to start a product, because ideas are very common, and we as a technology people love to build a lot of ideas, convert ideas into products and so on. But the very reason why we started SeeWise is there is one famous company called Dunlop, which got shut down at least in the south part of India. But my mother's side relative was working in that factory, and he lost his leg while he was working in the factory. So I was a kid at that time. I just don't know what happened, and then we were just teasing our relative like he's a limping person and so on, because I wasn't aware that I should not be teasing a person with the problem that they are facing. So once I became mature, I started seeing why he lost this leg. Okay, it's an accident. Why the accident happened? Accidents are very common in factories. That's how it is actually.
Yeah.
And then at one point, once I started learning technology, I felt like, okay, artificial intelligence or a technology can also help to reduce the accident. So why not we use the technology for good to reduce the accident? So we started with solving a problem that we all know exists, and then we started moving from one step after another. So that's the very idea where we started doing it.
So it started with the concept of workplace safety.
Yes.
But then, of course, it transcended into many more different use cases eventually.
Yes. Yeah.
When you went to sell the workplace safety use case to the first client, what happened? Did they buy? Did they say, no, it is not useful for us, this is not something we need? What happened there?
It's a very interesting. So when we first shown our product, we weren't having any product in our hand.
Okay.
We did the simulation of how this can be done.
Okay.
So just ran the video and then identify the human, and then whether the human is in the restricted area or in the proper area or not, and so on. So when we started showing that, people were able to perceive it. Okay, this is how the artificial intelligence works, because it was evolving. Artificial intelligence, at least in the factory side, is evolving.
Right.
So they liked the idea. And then it started moving to the next stage.
Okay. So when you went to pitch it to a client, what did they say? When you showed it to them, the simulation, what did they say?
So that's where every interesting things happen.
Yeah.
So people comes with the Hollywood mindset, like a
Yeah.
James Bond movie or
Yeah.
like whatever the famous movie that we have
Of course.
in our country. It's like you can do many good things with the help of CGI, and so like a person can see what is happening inside and do the transformation and all. So they started having that mindset that artificial intelligence can solve any problem. So instead of solving one problem, we started getting lot of input from the customers saying like, or they may take it as an assumption that AI can solve everything. So
Okay.
let's give everything to the SeeWise company so that they will solve it. So it's not a good thing for us actually, because we have to focus and solve one thing after another.
It's not a good thing for the business also, because if the business is not aware what they want to solve, then they are just shooting in the dark. And if they're shooting in the dark, this means that they don't have a clear objective or goal. They're exploring.
Yeah,
And if they're exploring, then it is good for exploration, but it is not good for driving transformation.
exactly.
Right? So obviously they started discussing a lot of things, and then they must have come to one point that they said, yes, we want to do this now. I want to sign the check. What was that?
Super. So before we made them pay for us, we were also pulled out or like carried away with the thoughts like, wow, customer is saying problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. So this is like a big opportunity. There is lot of problems that we can solve. So we
Yeah.
got carried away and we started solving everything. And then that's where we started feeling like, no, we are going in and hitting in all the directions. So let's pick only one thing at a time. And then the first time that we were able to make a client pay for us was like, if a person is not wearing the goggle, then we will automatically stop the machine. So we picked one problem, one solution, and then we demonstrated it in 2 days time, because this is the first product and they were not ready for the paid POC or something like that. So we
Right.
were able to demonstrate it, and then they liked it, and then they were like, okay, let's go from one station to multiple station, and they wrote the first check.
That demonstrate that people have to look at one small problem at a time, solve that problem. That helps you as the technology provider and the client as the technology buyer, and it works best for both.
Yeah.
But now coming to the problem statement that they were working upon, which was workplace safety.
Yeah.
Right, workplace safety does not directly translate into balance sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, how difficult it was to convince them to buy workplace safety related solution and pay you?
It's a very difficult question actually, because in our, in any factory, if they have to spend your money on something, the first and foremost factor is ROI, the return of investment. So while everyone says safety is the most important thing, to release the budget for safety is not easy. So how we started getting the projects or the value out of them is like we mingled both safety and productivity. So the biggest thing that is helping us to get the project approved is, apart from safety monitoring, we also help them to improve their productivity. Because what we are doing here is monitoring 4 things: the man, machine, method, and material.
Okay.
So when we monitor these 4 things, we obviously monitor the productivity as well.
Of course.
So the key thing is productivity.
Right. So people will pay for productivity. Other things are nice to have fundamentally.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I think this kind of reaffirms, I have had a conversation with other guests in past. And one thing that is coming out as a very common theme is that people don't pay for workplace safety, or they don't pay for outcomes, which does not give them disproportionate returns. Like when I spoke to Mr. Bharat Gira on hospitals and healthcare, we learned that it's very difficult for hospitals to invest into better outcomes, because better outcomes is not necessarily equal to better revenue for the hospital. Similarly, when we are talking about a factory, better worker safety, which was the core which drew you into this automation business, is not necessarily the priority for the company, though they may say differently, because it doesn't directly impact the balance sheet. So it has to be combined with something if it has to be approved. If the business case has to be created, the workplace safety is critical. It has to be combined with a commercially driven objective.
Yeah. Yes.
And that is what you did also.
Yes.
So you combined it with a with a balance sheet driving objective,
Yes.
which is productivity.
Exactly.
How did you measure this productivity? Because obviously whoever is signing the check, he
Okay.
needs to convince his management that I'm spending, let's say 10 lakh rupees for this solution, and the company is making 20 lakh from this. So what was that whole case looked like?
Makes sense. So I was just quoting one example where if someone is not wearing the goggle, then the machine will automatically stop. So if that person is wearing the goggle, then the machine will work. So we connected our system to the CNC machine, and
Okay.
we were able to get the machine uptime data. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Second is we were able to figure out that the person is standing in front of the machine and actually doing the work. Because let's say you are in a press shop, then if you keep the material and do the pressing, then we count that action. Okay, he is making a press, and then an object is transforming from one state to another state. So we read all this 4M, the man-machine method material, and then we shown them that yesterday productivity was this, today it's better. So when we saw the difference for a manufacturing company, even if we increase like less than 5% of productivity, then that itself is a big return of investment for them.
So you are able to show the difference of how much productive time a guy spent on the machine. And based on that, they can benchmark. They can say, okay, if a guy can do 6 hours of productivity, then why is he doing 5 hours? Is there something I can fix?
Yes.
Can I motivate him? Can I improve certain working condition for him to achieve that 6-hour productivity every day? So those are the questions that we're starting to come up after this.
Yes. So the key thing is the moment we put the camera in front, let's say I'm a person working in a factory, the moment camera is on top of me, then I will start panicking, and I will also start feeling like, why are you watching me?
Yep.
Are you a big brother or something like
Yeah.
that? So there was a lot of resistance from the workers. I'm doing my job correctly. Why are you measuring us?
Yeah.
So it took us a lot of time to convince them that here we are helping you to achieve better productivity so that the company you are working for will grow better. And then it's like a loop that helps everyone, but they weren't convinced. So we came up with one unique idea. The one who is doing good job in a day will get a credit points. The one who is not able to achieve certain numbers, it could be for anything. He can go out for a coffee, tea, or he may be taking a long lunch cycle, or he may be standing in front of the machine, but that person is not doing the actual work. Many things can go wrong.
Yep.
So we monitor that, and then we set the params like what is the good thing. And if someone is not doing the right thing, then it's not like we are going to reduce the negative, put negative points or something like that. It's like we have the shop floor manager train that person and raise a ticket like this person need more training, this person needs some support to take it to the next stage and so on.
So it's basically more a carrot approach than carrot and stick.
Yeah.
But the point is that what I'm extracting for this discussion is that for a technology intervention to be successful, it needs acceptance on the floor. And if it needs acceptance on the floor, it cannot just happen because the technology has been put in. It has to have a HR backup. This means that this is a change management that is going to happen at a people front. People has to accept it, because if people don't accept it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they start revolting,
Yeah.
they say, we don't want it, please remove it.
Yeah.
Of course, the company will have to first listen to that, because company would like to minimize the negative impact of the technology before they get the positive impact of the technology. So we have to reduce that part. And that is what you did, partnering with the HR. You created plans which will reward the guy for doing the right thing.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this brings me to a very interesting point. Obviously, while you do such kind of a monitoring using AI and alert and do analytics on the data that you are gathering, you can also find a lot of fraud. You can also find a lot of things that people don't want the management to know. So a lot of things happen on the shop floor
Yeah.
that stays on the shop floor, as we say. So tell me, how do you handle that? And did you faced any failure or success around that?
So we did face many problems like that.
Okay.
So what we are doing is wonderful thing. On the other side, there are many hidden things that happen. For
Okay.
example, one thing we all know is the weigh bridge. The weigh bridge is the place where you measure how much kilogram or kg goes out from your factory, or whether the truck is coming inside with empty truck, or the tarpaulin being covered. Many things can go inside. You might have read news like one of the famous car company, they were taking out the engine from the warehouse for the past 5 years, and then it took them 5 years to find out that that particular car company lost multiple crores of money where they were taking out the engine. So the engine is not going to be a small piece, it's going to be a big piece that being going out, because it's like organized crime that happens.
Right.
So when we go and provide our solutions, initially it was being received well, and then when we started showing them the real result, like for example, it could be anything. For example, if I have to produce like 100 products per day, I could be only producing 80, but I can write 100, or I produce 100, but I write only 90, so that I can do something with the 10 products. So unfortunately, we have to figure out and find out those things. That's our job. And when we started showing these things, there is a lot of resistance from the shop floor, and they started blaming that this AI product is not useful. There is something going wrong in the SeeWise product. So they started creating a lot of stories saying like our system is slow, our system is showing wrong data, and so on. So we shown the real footages of how this is happening and so on. And then eventually the customer is the king. So
yep, absolutely,
we did not win that, and then we walked out. I mean, it was not a good journey, but when we started this product, we know this will happen.
I think whenever you are going to do any kind of a policing using any software, I think these kind of things will happen, especially when you are able to measure things or do things that was not possible earlier. So one person watching another person all the time, and highlighting his productivity gap was never possible at scale. Today it is possible at scale, because instead of the human being, you can just put that camera, and that camera can monitor and can log the real work hours and can actually report that. So the moment that starts happening, or if the amount of things that are being produced on the assembly line, we can count it precisely now. So nobody can put it into two different
Exactly.
areas, which one being put into the production and one being taken away from there for some other purpose, right? So I think AI allows us also to get into extreme level of transparency, which also is not normal for human beings, especially not normal for traditionally running systems and processes in place. And that is where the biggest bottleneck comes in the adoption. At times, this adoption bottleneck can come from the floor manager. At times, it can come from the person above him. And this is not something that can be solved unless the company is resolved to solve those malpractices or take action on those malpractices and fix the business. So we can highlight the problems. We can't fix the business as technology. And I think technology leaders also have to understand that a lot of initiatives may not see the light of the day, because if it kind of ruffles some feathers which should not be, then there will be a problem, and AI will create many such opportunities. And there will be pushbacks in the name of privacy. There will be pushbacks in the name of faulty AI, and so on and so forth. So again, a lot of these things can also be done without AI. I mean, I think AI has become a fashion word, but a lot of these things could have been done without AI. Right? I mean, we could have simply understood that this person is not wearing a goggles, even without AI, by normal image processing, which is being there for last tens of years now.
Yeah.
So it's not like AI has made this change. It was there. It's a technology problem.
Yes.
When the technology collides with business, there are certain issues that comes up. This is one of those.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's that's the thing. Like things were always working normal, but only the technology is able to highlight that you can do much better. When technology comes in and tells like, okay, you can improve the OEE, the overall equipment effectiveness by adjusting this man availability, and then the improving the method, reducing the material being used, and things and so on. So when you have this multiple monitoring systems, it helps us to further grow our business. Technology at the end is always helping. Like Instagram is a very nice product, but it can also be used for good. Can also be being used for other things as well.
True.
So I learned a lot about what is happening in the AI world from Instagram, more than LinkedIn and so on.
Okay.
Yeah, but the same Instagram, if can be used for other things as well. So it just us have to see in the right way.
It's upon how the company want to use the technology.
Yeah.
And do they really want to know what's happening and really want to fix those things? So that intent is very important.
Yes.
So the key word I would take here is the intent of the organization to really know and fix the problem, or if the problem is going to ruffle feathers, which you can't handle. Because if you can't handle, then that technology budget, investment, effort will all go in vain. So that's, I think, a big takeaway I'm taking from this conversation.
Yeah.
So moving on from here, Balaji, what do you see has been the biggest acceptance the reason for acceptance for the products that you have been selling? What really connected well with people? What make them take the decision faster to buy the products and solutions that you are selling?
Definitely. That's one very important question, because product on your outer look very fancy, and then everyone wants to give it a try. But sustainability or consistency of using the product is very, very important.
Right.
So when we start talking to the customer, initially we were selling artificial intelligence.
Right.
So like I said, we were also carried away with the buzzword artificial intelligence. And then we found out that only scratching the surface and it's not helping us to sustain.
Okay.
So we started spending, we took a step back, and then we started spending more time on ROI calculation. So let's take one example. We work with one of the very famous foundry from the city you are coming from, and it's within the foundry we work with the furnace monitoring. So furnace monitoring, furnace is all about how much tonnage goes on every month, how much energy I can reduce, the energy being consumed I can reduce, whether the material composition is being correct, and then the number of people working in particular furnace. Is it 2 people, 5 people? All this thing matters. So eventually what we are talking about is the man, machine, method, and material. So when we go and approach a customer, the first thing we talk about is how our solution can improve their productivity. So we prepare that ROI sheet, and then we tell them that this is the OEE that they are currently having, and then we will be able to improve 5% on the first month, and then another 5% on the subsequent months. So for a manufacturing company, if we improve, like I said, 5% or a bit above that itself is the biggest ROI for them.
Got you.
Most of the manufacturing companies operate on a very less margin.
Right.
Even though they look big and so on. It's a very competitive world for them.
So now I am putting you and the technology leader of the company in the same bucket, because you both want to succeed. You both want to solve a problem, and you have agreed that by doing this, I can improve, let's say, the productivity by 5%, which itself is going to improve the top line by 2%, let's say, for illustration purpose. Now, how are you, because the whole outcome will not just be driven by you two. There is a lot of other factors in the game. So if you two are determined to do it, it will still not solve the problem. How do you get the buy-in of other stakeholders who are necessarily not the owners of the business, who are not necessarily the board members, who's not even the CEO, but other functional leaders who needs to be brought in, and because of you, their effort or their pain may increase.
Sure. So the good thing is we got the first deal not from the approval of the top guy. So the first deal came from one of very big company, and we got the deal because of the guy who is relatively not a very top level management person, but a simple worker working on the shop floor. So he perceived our idea, and then he convinced his shop floor manager that this is the right technology, this can improve our productivity. And then eventually, when we shown the real value, it went to the top management. So the top management wasn't aware that there is an AI initiative happening in the company. So sometimes we take most of the time we take bottom-up approach.
Okay.
Yeah. So which takes time, but ultimately every product is used by the shop floor people, so they're the real workers. So unless we convince that particular person, the business users, it's no waste. Even if the management comes and say like you have to use this product, there is no guarantee that the shop floor people will use it.
So how do you make it valuable for the shop floor guy? So till now, what you have been talking about is, let's say we build a product, it monitors the energy, it monitors the people, it monitors the material, but I am the human being on the floor. If I don't benefit, I'm not going to talk about it to my management.
Yeah.
How do you look at making sure that the person on the ground, he benefits from the product that you create?
Oh, nice. So we, with our experience, we identified the right champion for us.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know whether that person will become the champion or not, but we will be able to understand, okay, this person is going to be our champion by having a lot of conversation with that person.
Okay.
So that person will share like, you can see some enthusiasm, some enthu in him, like, okay, I have seen AI, I have seen your product, I want to use and improve it, not just for my own technology happiness, but I want to see whether it's really adding any value. When we start talking to this person, then we know that that person is at a management level, not like a top management, but maybe he or she is handling like 10-20 people under them, and then they need a good way of monitoring and improving their day-to-day work. They don't want to go into chaos of what is happening in the shop floor. They don't want to keep addressing the problem, so they need a good monitoring system.
Okay.
So we convince that particular person, we give value to that particular person, we show them with the simulation that these are all the things you can monitor. Actually, when we do that, that particular person can focus on other tasks than monitoring the people all the time or monitoring the machine all the time.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I also realize, I think you told me the case study long time back about how you guys are able to detect the wrong folding of airbags. Because if an airbag is folded in the wrong way, it will not function when the accident happens.
Yeah.
And that is a disaster that takes lives, right?
Yeah.
So by fixing this quality issue, you're actually saving lives.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more. How can AI help in quality assurance, and what has been your learning on the floor in terms of implementing AI for quality assurance?
Sure. Actually, while we implement productivity monitoring solution, because as a company we need to have a sustainable revenue to run the system, we get happiness when our safety monitoring system works. So we got a call as well as an email from one very big company in the world. They are one of the number 2 beverages company in the world, saying your product is working very well, and it alerts us when someone goes into the restricted area. So factories are very big. So if someone is going inside some very sensitive area, there won't be any people to monitor that whether that person came back or not. Mm-hmm. So our system, when it detects a human is there in the restricted area, it won't even let the system to start. So we stop the system with the relay until the human comes out. So when they see those things happening, they were very happy. So they wrote an email and made a phone call saying, this is really nice. For us, it's a very simple technology. From technology perspective, it's very simple. But
Yeah.
for them, we added value.
No, I understand your passion for the safety, which is understandable because of the root cause why you started the business. But I'm trying to take the discussion towards quality assurance because people will pay for quality, right?
Yeah.
If I am a premium brand and people buy my product because I am premium,
Yeah.
I am a premium shirt brand, then I can't have a broken button on my shirt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And using AI, I can monitor and alert it at scale, even if it misses human eye. And I don't need necessarily a human eye to check all this.
Yeah.
I can put a AI based visual monitoring system to check all this, and people can be used to do more production, right?
Right.
Tell me a little bit how AI is being used and how are you using AI to deliver this?
Sure. So we all have passion towards luxury products, luxury
course.
cars. Everyone has some taste. So we are working with one company where we are ensuring the paint quality in a luxury car segment is nice. When you see a car in a showroom or on the first 1 month, it will look and appear very glossy, clean and neat. But as time goes, like 6 months with the weather conditions, be it very hot or other way, eventually the paint will fade away, and then you can see that there is something missing in here.
Right.
So we work with one company where we go at micron level and ensure the paint pattern is done correctly.
Okay.
So when the paint pattern is done correctly, then the durability of that car quality, the paint quality will come for a good number of years, because luxury cars are paid for the quality, for the appearance, and so on. So this is one example. Another example is like when a metal product comes out from a foundry or some casting, it will look very nice on your outer side, and also they will be producing a lot, not like one or two, but they will be producing in a continuous way. So we have to check each and every item within that particular time, and then it all is put in a carton and then sent out to the customers. Even if one product goes wrong, they will reject the entire container.
Right.
So we have our friends in Stanford Seed who have faced this problem. So because of just one mistake, the entire container get rejected, which is very expensive. So that's where we come in and help them to solve the problem on the first hand and take it and resolve it. Yeah.
Amazing. So now, Balaji, tell me, obviously, you running a IT service business, also this product business, how do you differentiate between hype and reality? There is so much noise about AI.
Yeah.
There is so much of noise that the signal gets missed at times. How do you look at those signals and how do you capture them and use in your business?
Actually, I just mentioned I watch Instagram and learn a lot about technology.
There's a lot of noise there.
Yeah, it's full of noise, and they use all the video gimmicks and then say I can do this AI or agent automation. I can replace the complete marketing team. Suddenly someone will come and say I have replaced the development team with just one agent and so on. So when we see that, we also get carried away okay, is this real? Are we missing something? Is the world running much faster than what we could perceive? So when we go deep, and then we take one example after another, and then we try to run it for real. So
walk me through how do you go deep into it? So let's say someone is saying, I can automate the entire marketing process for Balaji using just let's say cloud. Okay. Now Balaji gets very enamored by this. He says, wow, I want to expand my marketing team, and if it can do that, then I'm going to save the entire money and my marketing will get better and I will get more sales.
Yeah.
So he's ready to take out his wallet and pay, or he's ready to call someone in his marketing team and say, I need it done tomorrow. How do you take a step back and validate if this is the right thing for you or not? And what are the preconditions for this to actually become true?
Sure. So that's the most important.
Yeah. So walk me through that process, your mental process of doing that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. See, for anything with our experience, the most important thing is whether we are solving the problem with the right technology and producing the real outcome. So more than having a fancy dashboard and things and so on, what is the real outcome? So what we are doing is like we are starting from the end, where what is the end result he is going to see. Let it be artificial intelligence, and then there is so many things coming up like artificial general intelligence, quantum, whatever it is. But at the end, what is the real value that person
Right.
is seeing? So
Okay.
you might have seen LinkedIn automation, all those. You see a lot of robotic contents appearing in the LinkedIn. So I'm sure when you see that, you find out that this is a robotic content, I better read something written by human. So the
Okay.
value of human is always there, and it will be there. And we are trying to not start from the dashboard or something. We are trying to start from the end result, the real outcome.
So you try to see what will be the real outcome, and you want to pin down on the outcome, and then you want to work back from there.
Exactly.
And if the outcome cannot be committed, and if the person is putting conditions on the outcome, that okay, if you want this outcome, then these conditions have to be true.
Yeah.
Then you know the constraint of the glossy looking promise that was made
Yeah.
on a Insta reel or on a LinkedIn post.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So though that's an interesting way of looking at it, that we look at the we start with the outcome first in mind, and then walk back and start asking the question that okay, is this the outcome you can commit? If I'm ready to sign this up, is this the outcome you can commit? So I think outcome based probing is a great way to differentiate noise versus signal.
Exactly. We are still learning.
Of course, we all are learning.
Yeah.
But again, there's a lot of news that keeps coming in, right? And at times, this news, for example, let's say we are saying that all the coding can be done using AI. Someone said that 30 man-month worth of coding we finished in less than a week using AI coding agent.
Yeah.
When these kind of news hits you, how do you keep your motivation up? And how do you even validate if this is really true? Because if it's true, then obviously you have to also change your way of working. And if it's not true, you have to also, work on the motivation of your team, because they might be feeling threatened. How do you handle this part?
Yes. Actually, last couple of months, the kind of news that is coming out from, sometimes one product will come and make another company sleepless. But what is happening is a small release, for example, a small release from Claude itself is making many companies sleepless. You know what happened with IBM,
of course,
cybersecurity, and now our own bread and butter, that is software engineering.
Yeah.
Every one of us is feeling threatened. I don't want to hide that.
Of
but
course.
On the other side, we are also trying to work together and figure out what we can do better. Okay, so instead of seeing AI as a threat, we finally managed to see AI as a tool. It's a tool. That's all. It's not going to kill us. It's not going to take over our job, because it still need human, and it will need human.
Isn't this wishful thinking? Like a lot of people whom I see posting online aggressively, according to them, you don't need humans. You can run the whole company without any humans. You can just run the whole company using AI.
Yeah.
I don't believe in them yet, because I have not been able to verify that. I have not been able to go through it in detail. But I'm just trying to understand, like, what are your views on that front? How do you feel about it when this kind of news comes in?
So if you take from the software engineering perspective, the thing that is happening is software development's life cycle is being completely converted into AI. So which is good. SDLC AI is good, but how we are perceiving it, or how we are preparing ourselves for it is, we started doing a lot of hackathons during the weekend, and we started spending a dedicated time on learning new tools. For example, it could be Claude code, it could be Cursor, a specific package within the Claude, and so on. So we take that and then we try to automate as much as possible. But whatever we automate and things like that, For a simple workflow, the automation works. For example, send automated email, alert system, all works. But when we want to take some complex business logic decision or like a backend things like that, AI is still not there.
So what I understand from you is, for a small business, AI can actually automate a lot of things. For a complex enterprise where you have existing systems in place, already existing process in place, complex logic in place, there to replace the whole system using AI is
Yeah.
still a distant dream.
Yes, it is still
You can use
evolving.
AI to solve certain problems. You can use it to improve effectiveness and efficiency,
Yeah.
but you still can't replace it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it makes for IT companies who serve IT companies who serve businesses. If I can take this example, I think they should focus more on enterprise tech than small business or what I call solopreneurs tech.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this a valid assumption from this?
I think yes, it's a valid assumption. Yeah.
I mean, as a company, I moved out from small business or solopreneurs long time back. And of course, that's why possibly the effect I am seeing on my top line is comparatively less than many other businesses I see whose business itself entirely has been disrupted.
Yes.
Right. So I think because enterprises will take more time, they are more risk averse. So they will actually go through wait and watch and then possibly adapt it.
Yeah.
And again, adapt in portions rather than say, okay, just remove everything and just put an AI engine to solve all my problems.
I don't think that will happen. Like remove everything, put AI, because I do read news and I do agree with that a single person multi-million-dollar company or trillion-dollar company is happening. It will happen, and that's fine. On the other side, we have built this whole enterprise system for the last 30 years. There are a lot of tightly coupled systems are there, and it's more expensive fixing it with the AI. Maybe when we start something clean, AI will be good. And even it's always like we can get started, solve the surface level problem, but once you start adding more complex, then AI is also struggling. Then the human have to come in and then do the actual stitching and so on. We also experiment a lot of products with the latest tools like anti-gravity, cloud code and so on. It gets started. We were able to see the dashboard, form filling and so on. But when we start addressing the core of the problem, then we have to go through a lot of iteration. It's not like I can build the product in just 1 day, 2 day, go live and raise funding, become multimillionaire. Those are all very fancy. It may be happening. We don't know the story behind it. He might have failed many times. That person might have failed many times before he could show that particular thing.
So basically what you are saying is that many of these can be pure PR stunts. At times it may be reality, but at least it is not changing everything in terms of technology adoption and implementation overnight right now. We are on the ground, you are not seeing that level of disruption.
Yes.
Disruption is there. People are confused, but that level of disruption is also not there, at least in businesses, mid to large businesses whom you are serving right now.
Yes, correct. Actually, we are all figuring out every day. Even the top leaders don't know what AI is going to bring for them. Right now, everyone is using the word AI and then trying to do the layoff. You will be reading a lot of news about it and so on. So it's not the AI alone. It could be their business decision of having more people than they could handle, and they just use the word AI and tell like we automated everything. AI intelligence is too good.
So it may also be an excuse to lay off people.
Yes, exactly. That's what is happening.
And that I think keeps happening. I think whenever there is something happening in the news and which becomes a hype, I think a lot of companies at times use that as an excuse to lay off people whom they anyways wanted to lay off, who may be their excess hire, or who may be the non-productive people according to them, and they want to let them go, and then they find a nice excuse as let's say COVID or AI or something, which they use to basically let them go.
True. We see, with our experience, we have seen a lot of layoff, right? Like every year we hear from big companies laying off at the range of 10,000 people, 5,000 people, and then they hire another 5,000 people and things and so on. So layoff is not new. They just use AI as an excuse here.
So Balaji, you come from a very traditional family, right? And I met your father when I came to office. It was great meeting him. Uh, and these families and the businesses that families like you build are based on a word called trust.
Yeah.
In the world of AI, how is trust going to change fundamentally? Because we can't trust any news we listen, we can't trust any image we see, we can't trust any video we watch, right? Uh, the live examples are these hype cycles which are running. Okay, so how do you really? And then when these hype cycles happen in industries, layoffs happen. This means employees will trust the employer less, right? Then employers start trusting employees less. So it looks like the whole structure of trust is getting hit and disintegrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's not a technical discussion on this front, but how are you looking at this and how do you think this should be handled by normal trust centric families and businesses?
Good question. I'm still learning on that actually, but one thing I learned is like whether it's a family business or other way, it's like more of keeping a good relationship with our staff. So as you know, we spend more time with them than with our family members.
Of course.
So like entrepreneurs like us spend more than 12 hours actually
Yeah.
on an average, maybe even 15 hours.
Yeah.
We spend time with our, even if we work from home, we will be on call with our staff or
Yeah.
with our client. We are so called like we are sitting in the home or something like that. What is helping here is like the relationship and transparency. And when we are transparent with our next level leaders, then they are also being transparent to their teammates and so
Right.
on. So eventually it is helping us to balance and handle this hype cycle or whatever happening. So it's a problem that we are all trying to solve together.
So do you talk with your team about what's going in your mind, right or wrong, doesn't matter? Do you keep talking about it?
Yes, we do. Okay. So initially I wasn't very transparent. I was like, okay, I should not say this, that, and so on. But once I started talking openly, sharing my side of the problem as well, where are we with the cash flow, where are we with the pipeline and things like that, then they also started helping. They also started, okay, here where I can contribute, here where I can, even if it is a very little things like I can come and write a new blog post, I can come and publish a new small case study and things like that. Those helps us. So transparency is helping, and I started being very open these days.
So and how do you handle fear among yourself? Because a lot of things that's happening also causes fear. So on one side, we are seeing multiple wars being raged around the world, which is changing dynamics every day for your business, especially because your majority of your business comes from outside India.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
On the second side, AI, which is disrupting your product as well as your software business. So there is a fear. I'm sure there is a. I mean, I would be saying I will be lying if I say I have no fear in me. There is an element of fear in all of us.
Yeah.
How do you handle fear between yourself and your team?
Understood. So what we are doing here is like we created a community within our company communication.
Okay.
Where we talk only about AI, only about how we can equip, how we can face this wave. This is a very terrible wave. It's not like a normal one. Whether we are in software business or non-software business, many things are going in a very difficult
Right.
way. So we as a small company have very closer communication, and we are very open in hearing their feedback, and we respect their feedback, and then they are also helping us. So we created that channel where we were able to share each other knowledge. And initially that channel was very low in contributing. And then when they started seeing like, okay, this is the way that person is contributing, let me also bring my way of doing things. For example, test case automation or particular requirement parsing automation and things and
Yeah.
so on. Everything is possible with ChatGPT or Claude and so on.
Yeah.
But what is for us and how we can build our own ecosystem is slowly happening. Whether we know the answer or not, we don't know. What is going to happen, we don't know. But the more and more news I read, I think it's going in the right direction.
Okay.
We may see a small dip, and then we will start understanding that human is forever, and there is always a value.
No, so I take a lesson from this. I think companies who are facing these two extreme emotions, one is of uncertainty and the second one is of fear, which are kind of interrelated. I think it's very important to have open conversation with the team. I think, I mean, being a tech company, you opened a channel on which people can talk. Obviously, other traditional companies who are not so tech savvy may have to open a different kind of a communication channel, maybe get-togethers, maybe meetings. And I think as a leader, you came up first and started sharing your vulnerabilities, your concerns, your fears, and
Yeah.
then others opened up.
Yeah.
So I think that is very important because the conversation has to go on, because people have to understand what the company is thinking, what the management is thinking, and that those conversations will start converting into opportunities, because the same people will come back and then they will start contributing that, okay, see, I learned this and can this be used in the company? I think you saw very similar adoption inside the
Yes,
company.
yes, exactly. That is what happening, and I think we only made our first step on that.
So there is a lot more yet to come.
Lot more.
And are you excited about it? Because this is kind of bringing the team together. Like a lot of times, when we say that it's peace time, teams disintegrate because they all have their own priorities in life. Right now, when AI has struck the IT industry, it's wartime.
Yeah.
So do you see your team is kind of getting into a hurdle, coming together to kind of fight back?
Yeah, we are actually. In fact, AI made us all closer now.
Okay.
Like we were able to see as we okay, development is that team responsibility, testing is my team responsibility. So there is always a friction between a team like development and testing. Now it is like, okay, how about we work together so that we can get things done faster and more efficient, and then you keep ourselves with better tools. So they started talking to each other. There is always a fight between development team and testing team. It's just
True.
the happy work culture. It is
Yeah.
like, so this AI helped us to have a good rapport among us, and then it's all transparent, like why this QC is happening, how this development is happening. That AI is able to show us those things. So in a way, it's helping us to gel together and be strong together. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, coming to a very important topic that is now raging everywhere, right? So, in last few weeks, we have seen some clients coming to us and say that, I know we can now use AI to reduce our development cost. So, why don't you reduce our pricing? Why don't you reduce the team size? That's working for us. Why can't our budget be brought down? Right? I'm sure you are also facing similar questions coming in from different sides. Of course, there is some value that has to be created by using AI, and it has to be seen how much value out of that we can capture in our companies, and from that, how much can we pass on to our clients. How are you thinking on those lines?
So initially it was a shock for us. Initially it was like, so are we going to lose that part of the revenue because UI UX is not easy.
No.
Most difficult part is HTML, in my humble opinion. More than backend coding, HTML is the most difficult thing. It's an easy language, but showing what the user wants to see, the pixel perfect, device perfect output will take a lot of time.
Okay.
So AI made it like this.
Yes. So the front end is kind of sorted by AI to a great extent.
So as a software engineering company, we lost that part of the revenue. So we accepted
You lost it, or you thought that you lost it?
Sorry?
You actually lost it, or you thought that you have lost it?
No, we actually lost it.
Okay.
We actually lost it. And then these days, customers are coming up with the prototype done already with some famous tools like Lovable and things and so on. And on the other side, the backend efforts are increasing. the real work efforts are increasing. So how we are seeing this is like while we are losing business on the UI UX part and things like that, we are able to get more opportunity or more time spent on the back-end development, solving the real problem and the core problem and so on. So it's a shock, and we started adapting to it. We did lost some good portion of revenue on that, but eventually it is balancing now.
So, in your opinion, if you have to redesign SDLC, the traditional SDLC that we have been used to for almost entire life of ours, right?
Yeah.
How would you redesign the SDLC in the AI world now?
So we are like every software engineering company. Our company Sprightly is building our own SDLC AI, where it's like you can upload the RFP or the requirement document, and then it will automatically convert into use case, and then use case get converted into specification, and then the actual interface, and then the test case automation. Everything is there. So that is happening. It's doable at certain extent, but what we are still seeing is there is a need for human, and it's like we may say like one day this will get replaced and so on, but it will take lots and lots of time.
But for custom projects, most of the work that you guys do, which is custom projects,
Yeah.
The needs are different. So you can't just create one conveyor belt in which things can get produced every day without any human intervention. So I think I agree with you. The way I come from a software development company background, I see that portions of it can be automated, but then you need human in the loop. Just like, in a conveyor belt, when something is getting manufactured, you want someone to see if it is got done right or wrong. And initially there will be a lot of wrongs, and then you will start seeing, okay, there is something right. And then there is also two types of manufacturing. One is fabrication, one is mass production. So I think as custom development firms, we are in fabrication business. This means that the need of the quality check will always be required. It's not that after doing 200 pieces of quality check and feeding the data back into the system, it will become automated.
Yes. Because AI is very much templated. Like if you start seeing some of the output from Lovable, you can see the pattern that always this input, that output. Initially it will look like fancy and all, but you after a time you will figure out that
now you can predict that
like a Matrix movie. So that's where we found out that yes, automation is happening. But in every segment, like requirement gathering, and then development phase, and then testing phase, and then in the UAT phase, we always kept human in the loop.
And I think we will need more human in the beginning and end of the application, which is the requirement gathering and the testing, QA, hardening phase. Maybe you will need a little less number of humans in the right coding phase, maybe, if you do the first and the last phase right.
Correct. We are still figuring out, maybe, yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I think what you are saying is that eventually we will all figure out a different methodology to build software using AI. And there will be new methodology that will take shape. Instead of the original SDLC, which used to flow like a waterfall model, it will get replaced by a new, maybe a tool chain with certain tools, a human intervention, a new pattern of doing things.
Yes, a new pattern will emerge. It's going to remodel the way we have been working on we have seen waterfall methodology, agile, scrum, anything, extreme programming and all. It's all going to change for good. And I not only our entire company believes that the human in the loop is the most important thing here. If we are building some one-page app, is a different story.
So what skill do we need to impart in this human who is going as a human in the loop into large enterprises? Because large enterprises also build a lot of software. Their CIOs are busy churning out software for their businesses. For IT companies like us who are also trying to build software for the same clients. What skill do we now need to impart to these humans, according to you?
Okay, nice. We are still learning on that. Actually, quality improvement is the most important thing.
Okay.
And then are we really solving the customer problem? Because someone will come and say, like, I want to build a library management system. A simple word can be perceived in any way.
Right.
So more talking, more keeping good relationship with the client, asking him or her what exactly they are
He
trying to
means
solve.
by saying library management. Is it
Exactly.
library management for a company? Is it library management for a library?
Yeah.
And then what exactly you want? What kind of the process you want to follow? What are the rules that you want to follow in that?
Exactly. It's complex. Software is the most complex problem. What we are seeing in Lovable, Emergent, or Bolt and all is like very surface level problems and so on. I don't think it's fully closing the loop. I don't think people can know, like, I can push this to GitHub deployment and all. Yes, they don't need to know about it. They will be able to deploy the app without any developer assistance. But those are all not our target market. Our target market is like enterprise customers, which requires human level decision making. It cannot be done by AI. So that's how the system is.
So you are saying that, in my understanding, I feel that currently for an enterprise application development workflow, you can achieve up to 20-25% efficiency using some automation tools and some AI enabled tooling. Are you seeing a efficiency higher than that at this point?
It's definitely improving the efficiency in terms.
But is it more than 25%? Like, I am seeing 25%. Are you seeing more than 25%? Less than 25%?
We weren't able to quantify like that. But what we are seeing is some efficiency is being improved. Some level of thought process can be improved, and we don't need to keep solving the foundational issues. So the foundation is being given very well by the AI. So we have to work little above and so on. So that level of efficiency we are seeing.
So what are you doing to upskill people? Because if people don't need to write code at the level they used to write. So earlier they used to spend 80% time writing the code. Now, of course, there are bigger problems to solve. You want them to talk to customers and decipher what kind of library management they want to build, which is a very difficult problem for a developer who is an introvert. Generally, most developers are introverts.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this introvert guy, you are trying to convert him into a guy who will talk to a client and extract his vision from him and document it into a piece of document which can go into AI, on which the AI can code.
Yeah.
How this transition of either, so are you going to say that this developer cannot be transitioned to this new role, or can he be transitioned? If yes, then how?
I think the transition is happening faster than we could think. Because the system is becoming more closer now, where we were able to have much faster interaction. We were having that, but it was more traditional, where there is a good layer on the communication.
So we had silos. Now those silos are breaking because we are in wartime. So everyone is coming together. Everyone is trying to learn that, okay, what will stay? Let me learn that part.
Exactly.
So if the coding is not going to stay, then what is going to stay? Let me learn that. So I think, so you are saying that without you pushing people, in general, people are automatically adapting to the new skills that you need.
Yes, exactly. So the communication is becoming more stronger, and then the efficiency is improving. In software, the wastage is very, very common.
Of course.
Compared to gold making waste, the software waste is very, very high, actually. At least gold we can retain something, but with software we cannot. So in that aspect, this latest tools with the help of AI is able to reduce that wastage and take it to the next stage.
I'm so excited to see the way you look at AI, which is going to reduce the wastage that is already happening in software development process, and maybe that can be used in better work, higher quality service to the client.
It is.
Oh, great. I think this is what I wanted to ask you, Balaji. I generally try to do a reverse swap. This means that if you want to ask me anything, you can also grill me. And I know it's not easy because we are not in easy times. So my questions may not have been very easy. But I think it is important for us to think and gather our learning, knowledge and wisdom and share it with the rest of the world, so that if anything works for anyone, it's great for everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now the role reversal, if you want to grill me, I am up for that.
No, it's more than grilling. I want to hear your thoughts as part of this podcast. Like, you know, entrepreneurs. We call ourselves as entrepreneurs, but the outside world see us as a business person. And then generally business persons were seen like they are the one enjoying on the top and things like that. But honestly, we are the one who thinks more about the loss level of the company stock to ensure that they are doing well and keep increasing our manpower and build our business, because only if we keep the last mile people happy, then we will be happy. So just want to know what you are doing on your side to ensure the last mile people or the staff in your company are happy. How are you enabling them with this latest AI and things?
No, we are doing a very hard drive in terms of AI enablement, AI adoption, and we are very clear that we want our people to get better. Okay, I'm not ice cream seller. I can't make everyone happy, and my intent is not to make everyone happy, because a lot of the happiness of each individual lies with themselves. Right? They will be happy when they, do the right things. If they are successful. Now, to be successful and to do the right things, you may have to push them. At that point, at the time of the push, they may not feel happy. So my job, unfortunately, is not to make people happy, but eventually, if they succeed, they get that happiness, and that is how I look at things. So I look at the bigger picture, where I will do what is right for the majority of the people, and what is also good for that particular individual. If the better thing for that individual is not to work for me, I will even tell him that. Because unfortunately, if he is not adding value to my business, right, it's a waste of his career also, because I won't be able to promote him. True. If I'm not able to promote him, if I'm not able to respect him for his work, then even letting him go is actually doing good to him and actually working for his long-term happiness. That's the way I look at it. So for me, it's a very, very clear demarcation that what's good for everyone in long term.
Super. Very nice.
Yeah. Good.
I have one more question for you.
Sure, please go ahead.
So what motivates you to go and share your knowledge via TIE Kolkata? And you are the face of West Bengal, actually.
No, I am not the face of West Bengal. We have a very popular chief minister, and we have a lot of senior entrepreneurs who are the face of West Bengal.
We understand. But for us, from the ST and Stanford Seed Group, you are the face. What motivates you to share knowledge? What motivates you to meet new people?
So I think for me, the fundamental reason is that when I was building the company, at that time, I did not get much of peer knowledge sharing. I'm not blaming anyone. It's just because the kind of company I wanted to build was not built before in Kolkata region. And it is my fault that I was not traveling enough. So I was like a frog in a well. And I was learning a lot of things by making mistakes. So all my learning has been the hard way. So for me, the biggest motivation is, can I reduce this hardness for others?
Super.
If I took 28 years to do that, can be done in 14 years. Can I help others reduce their speed, increase their speed by 2x or at least 3x? So if I can do that, I think I'm creating enough value. I don't even bother if they are valuing it or not. But for me, I'm happy that I am able to share the knowledge which I did not had earlier, which I had to learn the hard way.
Makes sense.
And now these people who are going to build the next generation of companies, they can at least not have to say that I did not have the exposure, I did not have that knowledge, I didn't have that information.
Sure.
So can they move faster? And I would say that my knowledge has been well utilized if it can be shared.
Makes sense. Your son is always watching you, and he is learning a lot. He will be learning a lot from you.
I hope so.
It's good. It's good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Balaji. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I wish all the best for Spritel. And I wish all the best for SeeWise, because I think SeeWise will be one of the companies to watch out for. I genuinely feel so. You are solving a solid problem which is about improving quality in manufacturing companies. And India, as it grows as a manufacturing hub, I think what you are doing will be needed more and more. And I am sure that the business will grow, multiple times in next few years to come.
Thanks, Abhishek. Happy you came, and happy we had this conversation. I am one of your biggest follower in LinkedIn, so
Okay, thank you.
I always watch your LinkedIn posts. I learn a lot, and looking forward to grow along with you.
Thank you, Balaji.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye bye.